Hello friends, it's Trevor, it's Avery, it's Pat, it's the citywide special. The Phillies follow up a disappointing trip to Baltimore with a series win at home versus the Padres. Trea Turner makes his return to the lineup. Johan Rojas is sent to AAA. The Phils start a series with the Diamondbacks on Friday. Rumor has it that the Flyers and Senators are cooking up a trade. With a framework in place, a deal may go down closer to next week's draft. Who could be on the move? Reports indicate the Sixers are expected to re-sign Nick Batum, Kelly Oubre, and Kyle Lowry. All that and more coming up right now. How's it going, fellas?
Pretty good. Good to be back. A little hot and sweaty, but out of that, can't beat it. But, yeah, man. Nice, good week. Back to being summertime in Philadelphia where it's hot as balls and everybody looks just about as grumpy as they usually do, but sweatier and stinkier. So there's that. But other than that, can't beat it really.
Yeah, the Philly roaches are out. I mean that literally and figuratively.
Big time.
Dude, I got to do some shit in my backyard.
Got roaches?
Oh boy.
Yeah, man. Like they're not getting in the house, which is good. But the other day, I went out to water my plants, and there was had to have been at least 10 dead roaches lying around.
Ew.
Dead?
Yeah, they're all dead. None of them are alive. Or some of them were on their back, and I just had to squash them. But yeah, I need to get some of that powder stuff to put around a perimeter down. You know what I mean?
They
Something
sell spray too. Well, maybe that's just for squirrels.
Yeah.
But they sell a mace for them.
I use a spray for the ants. I got rid of the ants.
Nice, really?
Yeah, I never told y'all this. I used the Taro ant traps. Taro, if you want to sponsor the pod, if you're listening.
Is that the clear one? Or did you put a spray down?
Nah, so I did both. So the traps are the clear ones where you put the little rectangles down and they crawl in there.
You can
they
see
eat
them
the
in
poison. Then they were running in and out. They were running back to the colony,
getting
all the comrades sick. It's good. So then that worked for most of them, but then I was still seeing some. So then my dad has this spray. I forget what brand, so this brand can't sponsor us, but my dad has this spray that's good for termites and carpenter bees, but also good for ants.
Raid?
Nah, it's I forget what the brand is. But yeah, I got rid of all the ants.
That's a big win.
So Trevor, you got to look for something the equivalent for roaches. So when you say roaches, are we talking the real little ones the size of a penny, or are we talking the ones the size of
the
a quarter?
water bug?
Maybe somewhere in between. They weren't enormous, but they weren't really small. I don't know. I think they're those summer roaches. There's different kinds that come out.
You get them water bug type of things that come out. They're a little darker. They're kind of big. But they say you're not supposed to stomp on them because then you bring the eggs in the house. So they say, who.
Y'all never forget this.
Potentially.
I was a young man. I still lived at home yet. I was probably 15, 16. And my house growing up was known for roaches, right? Or water bugs with the water bug types. Yeah. It's we would always be getting them in the summer. So I'll never forget this one time I was hanging out, doing my thing on AOL Instant Messenger as you do when you're 15 in 2003, 2004, however old I was. And I look over and I see one roach just crawling across the floor. I'm yeah, whatever, it ain't going to do anything. So then don't you know, I see another come and mount it.
Oh.
And they're doing it on the floor, dude. They were getting it in on the floor. So then I'm man, I should really put a stop to this. This is disgusting. And I don't want anything to do with this. But then I'm I don't want to crush the eggs and get them all over my feet, my shoes. So I let them finish.
What a polite man you are.
Yeah, I let them finish. Yeah. The one got off the top, the other one, then I squished them both. And then I scrubbed the area and made sure I didn't see any eggs. But yeah, I saw straight up water bugs.
There's worse ways to go out, I suppose.
Definitely way worse ways.
You ever seen a water bug mate before?
No.
Can't
say that I have.
What's the most grotesque thing you've ever seen mate?
I wouldn't say grotesque. I guess no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm playing.
We're not talking porn. I mean in real life.
I saw 2 crabs. But I zoinked, he was a keeper. I zoinked his ass right off, or I put it right in the trap.
Did you let him finish?
I didn't ask. I just kind of. I just assumed he was done. I don't know. It's a crab. I figured he was game over, bro. Zoink right off. Put him right in the trap. Ate his ass.
Damn, man, that sucks. You cut him off before he could finish, and then you ate him?
I don't know. Maybe they were done. They were just like nestling. Maybe they were like just whispering in their ear like, "Wow, what a great time that was." And then, "Oh, I love
It's
you
like,
to
oh,
death.
baby, let's do it again.
You're the best."
And then it's just like, oh, oh.
Never had a claw as blue as yours, and then zoink, got his ass. I don't know. I left her to do her thing and give
you
birth
left
to
her the
all the
promiscuity.
to give birth to all the good babies. But
Yeah.
I don't know what her rep is like. Maybe she's like a little dirty crab. Who knows? I don't
Probably
know.
a foxy minx, dude. She was probably getting it in.
Could be. Well, she was. She has a great little
She
time.
probably
But
continued.
not on that fucking wall. Not today. I said that guy. How big is that calf? Nah, I've got it. Boink.
I mean, that's rude. I at least let a water bug finish. Trevor, what about you?
Yeah, but you killed her.
I can't
Well,
really
I guess I only
recall
killed
any.
one.
You never saw anything grotesque mating?
I don't think so.
You never saw an animal.
Like bugs or anything. No, I don't think so.
Damn, you haven't lived, dude.
I mean, I've
You're
seen
missing out.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen like a share of like masturbating monkeys at the zoo. I've seen that before.
That don't count. It's a solo
That's
flight.
like, yeah.
It don't matter.
Yeah,
I've
that
never
is
seen-
always funny, though.
Yeah,
You remember going to the zoo when we were in elementary school?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's.
And we'd see the monkeys just jacking it hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would be getting it, dude. And teachers would be like, oh, no, we got to keep it moving.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. I kind of like that.
You didn't break it up though.
No, you
Yeah, I
can't.
mean,
They're
but-
behind the glass.
Yeah,
Well,
something else they
but
could
that's what I'm
do.
saying.
Should they see Trevor screaming at them, they probably
hey,
start
stop.
going harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like,
Monkey, yeah, that just gets them off, knowing that there's all these disapproving eyes gazing upon them.
hell yeah.
They're a bunch of little freaks.
He's like,
Just
Yeah, speaking of the zoo, one time I seen 2 elephants.
whoa.
So, I'm
Elephant.
kidding. I'm
No,
kidding.
really?
I'm kidding. I wish
That-
that were real. Could you imagine that, dude?
Dude,
Yeah.
an elephant cock, massive.
That's the noise the elephants make, like, "Wow," right?
Well,
something like
What
that.
do they sound like when
Sounds
they
close
mate?
enough.
I don't know. I've never seen an elephant mate, but I would assume they probably, whatever they do, you know what I mean? What's that thing they do with the little, with the trunk?
Yeah, oh, that trunk's probably like dancing.
Smack in the back of the
Yeah.
head, whop, you know what I mean? Just a little tickle. Maybe like, let me whisper in your ear, you know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah.
Your elephants are a very not sexy animal, so yeah, we gotta. I guess water bugs aren't very. Ugh.
No.
Yeah, they're very
Yeah, I
far
wouldn't
from
describe
as
them
are
that way.
crabs.
Crabs, well, at least they have more of like a latch. It's like a, it's
That
like
is
a,
true.
it's like a bridge kind of,
Yeah,
you know?
crabs, you can very tell which one's the male and which one's the female.
Yeah, they got more, female got the more big paddle.
Yeah.
Man got the little dick.
Yeah, they have a little phallus. They do, and they have little testes poking out on either side.
I saw something where people were like, "Oh, if you're afraid of getting pinched by a crab, you just gotta like rub. If you flip it over on its back, and if you stroke their little dick,
That makes sense.
it makes them because they start feeling like they're busting a nut. They fall asleep.
That makes sense.
But I ain't jerk. You gotta jerk off a crab to make you go. Fuck that.
I'd rather just get pinched.
That pinch doesn't hurt that bad.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not doing
doesn't-
that.
It doesn't bother me
No
that
one's like,
much.
Hold on, let me. I'm not doing that. I'll take the pinch.
Yeah, I probably would too. I have standards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I won't go that low.
Folks, tell me one other Philly sports podcast where you're going to get content like this.
You were talking about the birds and the bees, the
Tell me
water
that.
bugs, the elephants.
The
Like and
crustaceans.
subscribe.
Yeah, this is what you come for. We know at this point we are not credentialed to be talking about sports, so we bring the other stuff.
Yeah, there ain't much out there really.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can get into what there is to talk about.
Well, I guess the hottest Philly team would be the Phillies since they're the most
They're
active,
the
I
only
guess.
team.
They're the one
Yeah.
playing
Yeah,
right now,
so that's it. Lost today, but they win a series at home. First series back in Philly since they went to across the pond, which is good to see them back. They definitely had a little rust. I mean, it's a tough stretch to go from, Philly then to England and then Boston for a 3-game series and then Baltimore. I mean, you could tell that they were a little
schedule's
rusty.
insane.
Yeah. And it's a tough stretch right now. You got Boston was not terrible. I mean, losing record, I get that, but good
I think
division.
they're over 500 now.
Yeah,
though.
and a good
Yeah.
division too. Like they're not, they're a losing record, but they have the Yankees, the Orioles are good. So, understandably, and they played like a pretty good team when we played them. Then you go down to Baltimore, hot team, a lot of good bats down there. Everyone's killing it. So, understandably, that's okay. And it's kind of any of those matches could have been maybe not Boston, but Orioles could be a potential World Series matchup. give or take a couple, of the teams out there. But yeah, they did okay. They came back home, 2 great wins off the bat. Good to see the bats come alive with Schwarber. Even in Boston, he had Mr. June came alive and it did his thing. So gave you no real cause for concern, but they definitely looked rusty coming down the stretch when they first came over from the Mets series in London.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like level of concern goes, I'm not too concerned. A bunch of people were saying this, the Phillies going into this series against the Padres, so after the series against the Orioles, in their last 10 games, they were 10-10. Or their last 20 games, I'm sorry, they were 10-10. But what's funny is they actually picked up 2 games on the Braves despite playing 500 ball
Yeah.
for the last 20 games. The reason being is obviously we know Strider's out. What do you call it's out? Acuna's out. And then Michael Harris, their other outfielder, he got banged up too. He's going to be out for like 4 weeks if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, the NL East, it's probably the Phillies to lose at this point. I mean, I didn't check the standings after today's game, but they're at least 8 or 9 games up.
Yeah.
And then elsewhere,
I think the Braves won today, so it might be like 7, but yeah. They're still got a good amount, yeah.
And elsewhere, for the Dodgers, Yamamoto's out.
Yeah.
And then Mookie Betts is out. He broke his hand.
That's going to be
so he got
and the
drilled by
Dodgers
the
are
pitch.
already like 4 games back.
Pussy.
So yeah, I mean, in the NL, the Phillies, as long as they don't go on like a 15-game losing streak, the NL, they should be fine. So the level of concern right now, I would say it's pretty low.
Plus, you figure they're only going to get hopefully healthier, right? You'll get Trea Turner back as a full stint.
Well, he's back, yeah.
He's back, but not back. Like, once
Marsh
he's
back
back
as
fully,
well.
but you'll get Marsh fully back. You get JT back, so you'll be...
And hopefully you'll have some acquisitions at the deadline.
Exactly.
Really could use an outfielder.
Maybe
another bullpen arm.
the guy from the White Sox would be nice to bring in here
Oh,
from the
Luis
outfield.
Robert?
Yeah, I like him. I liked him last year, but you got to give up some collateral, which is fine. But, it's nice. It was kind of an interesting thing that we saw this year where we had injuries at the beginning, where I feel like the last couple of years with the Harper era, we'd have injuries early on that we would be down. We'd be like the Braves. We'd be like 8 games behind. And like the guys that we want to step in and win those games couldn't do it. So we're still always in that like 8 to 10 game behind range where it's nice to be where we are now, top of the division. A lot of our star players are hurt. A lot of young guys are getting playing time now before it's like playoff push. You still got time before the All-Star break. So you figure even if Trey isn't 100%, you're going to have a break in the next couple months when we have the All-Star break. And then, you get healthier as you go along. JT got the knee cleaned up. Trey should have his little hamstring better than it was before. And he was hitting phenomenally beforehand. So it's not like it's going to affect that.
Yeah.
So it's stuff that it makes you feel optimistic about that. Where it's like, all right, cool, you get that out of the way. Other guys got some good experience. They're bringing up guys from AAA or whatever, minor league, that are playing their balls off and doing pretty well. So you have like a glimpse into that. It sucks that you lose a little bit here and there this month so far, but all things considered, you're still to have a slump and still be 7 games ahead in your division is a good spot to be in.
Well,
and you're not that far. It's not like the Dodgers eclipsed you in the NL. You're still the top dog. So
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah, and the Dodgers got their issues. That's the important thing is that the Phillies were able to pad some of these wins. Yes, people were saying, the Phillies had an easy schedule. But that's kind of what fueled them getting out to that hot start. But yeah, they beat the teams that they were supposed to beat because so that now, if something does happen, if dudes do start getting hurt or the schedule is unfair to you, you end up going from London to Boston and Baltimore in the span of a week.
Mm-hmm.
You can afford a bit of a slide. So I'm not extremely concerned. I do think that some of the AL, like, they got some juggernauts. Like
The Yankees looking pretty
Yeah,
good.
the Yankees are looking
Yankees
good.
are looking hot.
the Orioles,
Yep.
they took 2 out of 3. They're looking good.
Yeah, the Guardians.
Yeah, the
Guardians
Guardians,
are pretty hot right now, too.
they're balling. So yeah, the AL is going to be tough, but we can't worry about that right now.
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect us at all, really. I mean, maybe in the sense of like you want to be the best team in the MLB.
It'll affect
sure.
us in October. It doesn't affect us in June.
That's what I'm saying. It's out of sight, out of mind. It doesn't really affect us as our day-to-day as a team, which is fine. You control what you control. They're beating up on NL teams. You win those series. That's all you need to do. And a lot of the premier teams that you're going to probably see in the postseason, you've seen in the last 3 years, and you've handled them pretty well. We haven't yet seen the Dodgers yet in the playoffs, so that'd be an interesting.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
That'd be an interesting series where we play them too, for sure. That'd be fun to see a potential NLCS matchup. So I'll be curious to see how that works out. But again, we probably won't be 100%. So that will most likely hurt us in the maybe, near future. But that could benefit us in the far future in the sense that, like, they haven't seen us at our best. So, but not bad. No cause for super concern. It's good to get a series win at home. I was hoping they would be 30-10 at home.
Yeah, I wanted to get the sweep.
Yeah, but now they're
especially against the Padres. I hate the goddamn
29-11 though is not bad.
Yeah,
at home.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't. These Padres, these dads singing their dumb rap song. Miss
corny.
Me with that.
So corny.
Miss me with that. That's why he came and we sang our version. Trea's gonna return. Manny's gonna learn. That's what's it. We were like, Bryce is gonna cruise. Tatis is gonna lose. That's what's it. Miss me with that, dude.
Oh, yeah.
No disrespect to the dads the week of Father's Day, but you got to get the hell out of here with that. That's corny.
That we completely, what could have been a good, like, National League rivalry nucleus between the Padres and the Phillies a couple years ago, we just completely demoralized that whole, there's no, they can't touch, like, there's no rivalry at all.
No.
Nothing.
No, we own them
Yeah.
here and in San Diego. They can't really beat us. I ain't scared of them.
Yeah.
Although better food at the concession stands, apparently. They have food
In
that
San
looks
Diego?
slamming. Oh, yeah.
I don't know, what do they eat in San Diego? I've never been.
I don't know what they eat in San Diego in
They
general.
probably got good Mexican
but they
food
got
in
like
San
tacos
yeah,
or
Yeah, they
got,
probably have banging
yeah,
Mexican
they got
food
like
out
really
there.
good food as opposed to like
They probably have good seafood too?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
So-
They don't got hoagies.
Do we got hoagies in the stadium?
I'm sure we do. Yo, we used to have a Campos in there years ago.
Yeah, I don't think that's there anymore.
It's
Now
not
they got
there.
that. Is that where
Now
the Ryan Howard thing
now
is
it's
at?
like Tony Luke's or whatever. Or
Oh,
whatever
Campos
it
is
is
Yeah.
superior to Tony Luke's.
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, the Campos was good.
Damn, yeah. What is the best? The barbecue's usually solid. Sometimes it'd be a little dry, though. What is the best thing to get at Citizens Bank Park?
That chicken sandwich ain't bad, with the pickles and all that, the lettuce and tomato.
I don't think I've had that.
That's newer, I think, either this year or from last year. But it's Ryan. Isn't it Ryan Howard owned?
Oh, yeah, he owns the joint. Yeah.
I forget the name, but it's good.
Okay. Yeah,
And
you know
it's
what? I
nice
might have gotten one last
Because
year.
you get it in a plastic thing, but the buns don't get soggy, which is nice. I hate when you get it already either wrapped or like packaged up, and then like.
Yeah, then the bread's
gets
all
soggy.
wet by the time you sit down.
But
It's
it
all
ain't-
mushy.
But that one's not like that. I can't eat a cheesesteak at a Phillies game. It's too fucking hot. I can't do it.
It's too heavy. Yeah,
Yeah.
you want to be able to drink.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
And you can't even. I got to.
And it's all messy.
Ounce. You got
You're
24
getting
ounce
whiz
beer,
all over your
cheesesteak.
hands. Yeah.
It's just too much.
Nah, it's too messy for me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you just go with a dog.
well,
Classic.
I used to go with a dog when they were $1.
Yeah.
Now they're damn near $5. It's like everything is expensive.
Did you see that thing that apparently the Eagles have like the most expensive beer in the league?
They do?
I believe it.
Yeah,
$17.50.
$17.50.
It was like 14. I think it was for like I don't know. I forget how many ounces, but it was like compared to.
Dude, you can buy.
There's just like 14 something, and like the league
Baltimore's cheap.
average is like 9 or like
Dude,
9.25.
you can buy a 12-pack for $17.50.
We should. Okay, maybe it's 14.
It was like
way,
14.
Either
yeah.
way, you can buy a 12-pack for that
Yeah,
too.
14. Yeah,
That's asinine. That is an outrage.
Yeah, but that's if you get the big tall boys. If you get the regular guy that sells like what is this? 12
that's
ounce.
a 12 ounce.
If you get
You
the-
mean a 16
If
ounce?
you get the pounder, that one is like $11.25,
Still,
which isn't bad. But
that's bad
Baltimore,
to me.
theirs were like, if ours were
Well,
14,
you can get
theirs were like
Natty
seven.
Bo.
Theirs
You
were
can
like
get
$7.
Natty Bo. That's where it comes from. It's
But we
cheap
played
down
Baltimore.
there.
We should go to that game in Baltimore.
I
this year,
think this chart said that the cheapest was the Detroit Lions.
which makes sense.
Yo, Detroit's all right. Yo,
But Baltimore's
that's
not
another.
that-
That's another decent Midwest city
Yeah,
that
we
people
gotta
be
make a
sleeping
trip.
on. I like Detroit.
Yeah, that's far though. Baltimore's close. It's like they're also like below $10 for the big beer.
When is that game's in December though?
I don't
Might
give
be
a
kinda
shit. It'll
chilly
stay
by
cold then. That's fine.
Their tickets are a lot cheaper than ours. I've looked at them before.
And I stayed on a boat in November and it was nice. It was cold, but it was nice.
Yeah, maybe we do go to that game. More to come.
We might as well keep you posted. Damn, do a podcast
Yeah,
from
we'll
Baltimore in
see.
the parking lot.
I got some friends down there. They would probably be in.
We could.
Yeah,
All right,
I got some homies down there.
TBD.
But, the other thing with the Phillies we got to talk about is what do you make of them sending Johan Rojas down?
I think it makes sense. I mean, he just wasn't giving you enough, and I think David Dahl has impressed. I think, I think he shows that he can be effective up here. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Rojas just, he's very good in the field, but not, like, so good that it makes up for the lack of production at the plate. So, I don't know. Give him some time in the minors, see if he can figure some stuff out. Yeah,
he hadn't been doing too good. He was hitting... Here's his slash line for the year. It's actually worse than I thought it was. Like 235 batting average, I knew what that was. His on-base percentage is only 271.
Yeah, he doesn't draw walks.
No.
Guess what his slugging percentage is?
It's got to be probably like 3-something.
Lower.
280? 250?
295.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
But still, that's a good batting average. That's not even a good on-base percentage.
Yeah.
That's an awful slugging percentage. So his OPS, 566. That's horrible.
Yeah, that's no good.
And then the other thing is the Phillies, their main focus with him offensively was use your speed, right? Like hit a ball on the ground and beat it out. Bunt. And just get on base.
Yeah,
He has not attempted a bunt, and this is from Matt Gelb of The Athletic. He has not attempted a bunt in June. His only bunt hit all season came on April 13th.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, the one thing they, expect him to do, he's barely been trying, and he hasn't been doing
What
it.
would you say you do here?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just not good enough, Like the player, I think there's some potential there, but just, right now, especially for a team that's contending for a World Series, is not good enough. Can't have it.
You can't risk it, and you're at the point of the season where you can make those decisions now where it won't impact, It sucks. I think we had a lot of hope and, promise at the beginning of, offseason, not to bring up sore wounds, but like a Ben Simmons there where he all those workout videos, he's getting
we'll have
buffed,
another Ben
doing
Simmons
shit.
mention today.
But, it's kind of like that where he's like, oh, man, I'm in the gym all day hitting balls. Like, yeah, anybody could do, batting practice and you look like a rock star, but you didn't really improve that much from last year. Fielding, we knew you could do. You didn't really elevate that. You just kind of...
And he actually got kind of worse.
Yeah.
He had a couple really dumb plays
He
recently.
plateaued or just kind of degraded a little bit. The one that I think that we need to move on from, too, is Whit Merrifield. I think it's time to use him in a trade package as well. Get him out of here.
No, you're not going to get anything for Whit Merrifield.
It doesn't matter. We don't need anything too much for him. Lump his ass into a package.
You could probably get a bag of peanuts for him. And
he'll just end up getting DFA'd if we trade for someone.
I wouldn't trade him for 5 hot dogs.
I would.
If I'm the other
guy with the
team,
hot dogs.
if I'm the other team and I have the hot dogs, I'm keeping the hot dogs. I'm not trading for him.
Yeah, I think outfielder is our biggest need right now.
2 or 3
to be a Swiss Army knife potential All-Star guy and come out here and do.
I was excited when they signed him. He's
me
been
too.
a dud.
I thought okay, we have a utility knife or something, and he showed at least a little bit of promise at the beginning of the season, but he didn't really pan out the way that we thought he would, and it's just with Marsh going down, it really elevated, the lack of depth in the outfield. From hitting, fielding, you name it.
Yeah, I mean, Castellanos had the 4 hits yesterday, but other than that, there's been very little outfield.
But we know
production.
Cassie at least will give you a 4 of the 5 walk-offs we've had have been from him.
Yeah.
So he does give you some ounce of
he's
juice.
clutch if nothing else. Yeah.
Which is odd. I mean, you can't describe it. It's just who Cassie is. But nobody else will give you anything that's like an exciting factor. Except for Marsh, but like I said, when he was out, it really showed the light of people just sucking ass.
Yeah, they need some outfield help, but we do need to talk about Castellanos going for 4 for 5, including hitting a walk-off the day Willie Mays dies.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, which, shout out Willie Mays, by the way, on Juneteenth, the greatest I don't know if I would say the greatest, but one of the greatest black baseball players and one of the greatest black athletes of all times.
Big time.
Castellanos, he honored your sacrifice, man. Your death was not in vain. It got us a win. And obviously, you're well respected throughout the sports community. You'll be missed.
Big time.
But yeah, Castellanos was like, all right, I guess Willie Mays is dead or something. I got to go off. And he did.
He popped off big time. So, we can afford one guy in the outfield that can be suspect at the plate. We can't afford two other guys out there with him to do that.
Nah.
And we're seeing that now. I mean, Marsh back is huge, but, it sucks.
Like, I think they're going to have to make a move for an outfielder.
I think the White Sox cat is our best bet.
Hopefully you don't have to give it too much for him. He's young. He's call-controlled. He's still good yet. The White Sox are a very poorly run, stupid organization. So you might be able to,
house them.
Yeah, you might be able to take advantage of their, naivete, but, I don't know, man. I'm not giving up, we were talking about before we recorded. Aiden Miller.
Can't give up him.
You're not giving him up. Painter, even though he's hurt. Nope, you can't give him up. Who's the other cat we drafted recently?
You're going to have to give up somebody that's
really
also
good.
a top 25, top 50.
Crawford.
Oh, Crawford.
Yeah,
Carl Crawford's son. Yeah, you can't give him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't give any of those guys up or that guy, George Clausen. He's been dealing.
Yeah.
I think it can't go past 4. 3 guys you can put a lockdown, but you're going to have to give up somebody decent.
But I'm not giving up any of those 4 guys for him.
3. I think 3 you got.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
you can't give up any of those.
The White Sox, unless they're as stupid as they are, I don't think.
They're really dumb.
But you have to at least give them a little bit of bait. Your first 3, fine, lock them down. 4th one, they need something in return for an all-star / home run derby, silver slugger. I mean, the guy.
He's been butt this year, and he was hurt all last year.
Yeah, but you trying to play your ass off for a shitty-ass team. What the fuck are you going to play for?
Yeah, maybe he wasn't actually that injured. Yeah, fair.
What are you going to do? I'm going to come back from injury and, what am I going to do? Win? I'm going to hit 40 home runs and be a fucking sub 500 team?
I don't know, man.
Come on.
I'm not giving.
They're not even on the best. They're not even the best team in Chicago, let alone.
And both teams are pretty bad right now.
Trash. The White Sox have been bad for forever.
Yeah, they have been. They're a poorly run organization. Probably one of the worst in baseball.
That was Kruk's last game, though, as a player.
As a White Sox?
He got a single, and then he walked right in the dugout, left, got a hot dog, and called it quits.
All right, I'm done. I can't play for this garbage organization.
He got a single to keep his on-base percentage at 300.
His career batting average at 300.
Then he retired mid-game, grabbed himself a hot dog, and called it quits.
Yeah, shout out John Crook, dude.
That's awesome.
That's the man.
He said, I'm out. I'm good. But we'll see. They'll make a move at some point.
Yeah, I mean, 2 things that they really need.
Give him Walker.
They're not taking him.
No,
That's another. They're going to absorb all that salary, man.
10 hot dogs.
I wouldn't trade 3 hot dogs for him. It's like, he's been pitching better. He was decent against the Orioles, and he was decent against the Mets.
Talk him up a little bit. Hell yeah, he's been on fire. White Sox.
Yo, White Sox fans, White Sox front office, Jerry Reinsdorf, White Sox owner. I think he's still on the White Sox. He used to own the Bulls. I think you still do. If you're listening, Taijuan Walker has Cy Young potential. He's just a late bloomer, man. I know he's
just
around 30.
Just needs to be in the right environment.
Yeah, I know he's around 30 and his velocity is decreasing as the days go by, but, in the right environment, in a winning atmosphere like what you've built in Chicago.
Like Chicago.
I dare say that Taijuan Walker will have a sub-3 ERA. He'll win 15 games. Hey, he was a 17-game winner last year. You want some Taijuan Walker in your life in Chicago.
Big time. You don't need an outfielder.
Let's go.
You don't need no outfielders out there.
Yeah.
With Walker, he's going to throw that splitter all the time. He's going to strike guys out. They'll never put it in play.
Yeah.
No fears.
The missing piece for Chicago, for sure. Without question.
Is that all we got on the Phillies? I think that might be
so.
It. Is that it? Oh, we got to talk to these All-Star. This All-Star stuff. How much do y'all care about who makes the All-Star team?
Absolutely 0.
What do you mean 0?
I really couldn't care less.
You don't care at all?
No.
I care enough. I mean, it's like this.
Well, I guess it's nice for the players, for them to get a little morale boost.
Do you watch the All-Star game?
I
like watching the baseball All-Star game is probably one of my favorite
All-Star games. I think that it's also the fact that we're close to $1 billion fucking salary cap team, so you better have some All-Stars up in that team. So it's good to see that way. You know?
Yeah, I like it.
You spend all that money for guys that were all-stars. If you don't have any all-stars, that's pretty pathetic.
Yeah, the baseball, like, we've had this before where we ranked them. I think we all agreed that the baseball one's the best.
Yeah, the baseball one's the best because it's the only one that's actually like a real game.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's good to see Harper up there for first base, which is kind of crazy, the fact that he changed positions and has been the best first baseman, just playing a new position for himself. Sucks again for Rhys Hoskins, but hey, game's a game, baby. Good to see Baum up there.
Yeah, he leads at third base.
You know, he's been killing it. His bat, I mean, what's he got? 60 RBIs now? 60 plus RBIs?
And he's hitting over 300 again.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Turner and Real Muto. Turner missed the last 7 weeks, and he's still second.
That's pretty incredible. That one, I feel like, is surprising to hear that he's second place for that.
I think it's name recognition. It's probably just our fan stuff in the ballot box.
And he's been, I mean, when he did go out, it wasn't like he was, 250. He's been 300, almost percent. Like, his bat, everything's been lights out. He was on fire when he went out. He just had a weird hamstring injury, that's all. But he was hitting like crazy compared to when we got him last year, where like had that dip and couldn't really hit, and we did the standing ovation, and his mom called him a bitch and all that stuff. But other than that, he's been on fire this year, except for the little weak-ass hamstring.
Yeah. And then Real Muto is second at catcher, but he's going to miss the game.
Big time.
But then we got Stott and Schwarber. They're both third in their positions at second base and DH. Which I don't think Stott, like, numbers-wise, he doesn't really deserve it. But
yeah, that kind of surprised
Schwarber,
me.
I think, kind of does. Schwarber's hitting like almost 260.
Yeah,
now, yeah.
This time last year, he was probably hitting like $180.
I think he was consistently
Schwarber's
180
been
the whole
killing it,
time.
dude. I think Schwarber deserves to make it. He's probably not going to get the fan vote, but I think he'll either get voted in by the players, or you know how they do that last guy in.
Yeah.
He might get that. I think Schwarber's going to make it.
Especially with June. I mean, he's already had 2 games with 2 home runs. I mean, he's heating up.
It's his month, dude.
Yeah,
he'll probably hit 5 more dingers at least.
Big time.
Yeah, I'm excited. Baseball's All-Star Game's fun. I enjoy watching it when like there are a bunch of Phillies in.
Yeah.
Which there probably will be this year.
Definitely.
Like you see them like interacting with like the other stars of the game, and it's like, damn, they belong here. Mm-hmm. Usually whenever the Phillies have a bunch of guys in the All-Star Game, they go far in the playoffs. Think of like the 07 to 11 teams, man.
Big time.
Like you had Utley making it every year, Rollins
J-Roll,
making it a
Victorino.
bunch, Howard a couple times, Hamels a bunch, Lee, Halladay. Like those teams had All-Stars and they were successful. So like having that many All-Stars is usually a sign that your team is successful and will continue to be.
Yeah. I didn't even think about the idea that could Ranger Suarez be the starting pitcher?
Oh yeah,
for the NL.
Yeah, pitching. You don't.
I mean,
the league picks the pitchers, so yeah, the fan voting. He very easily could be. Who else would it be? Wheeler got shelled recently. Nola did. Could be Imanaga. He's been dealing. I don't know who else.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Ranger, baby.
Ranger deserves it, man.
Shout out to Ranger. His family was in it.
Yeah, that was funny. His kids.
They were like hot as shit out there, though.
His kids look so miserable.
Yeah, they did not look
it was
happy.
So funny. Oh, man. Yeah. But good for
Watching that 95-degree heat just getting roasted.
Yeah.
They were like, nah, fuck that.
He at least had a good game. Again, you know.
Yeah, the bullpen and the defense
bullpen just didn't have it
today. Ugh.
Oh, yeah. Some bad plays. But whatever.
We gotta do it. But yeah, all in all, good spirits in the Phillies. We're doing all right.
Yeah,
next, we bring on the old Diamondbacks.
Yep. So we want to move on to here. There's some Flyers rumors.
Oh.
You know.
Yeah. So what is this about the Senators? I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, this was reported by Travis Yost, who's at TSN. Apparently, the Flyers and the Senators have been kind of like working on a trade for a while, and they have like quote a framework in place, but they're just it's not gonna happen until closer to the draft for whatever reason.
Who do the Senators have?
Well, I think the idea is that
are we dumping salary? Are we sending Cam Atkinson?
I think the idea is that the Flyers are trying to move up to the 7th pick.
Oh, so we can get.
So it could be sending them. I mean, I don't think Scott Lawn's been discussed a lot because apparently
he's not going to be.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Senators have been like into him for a while, but I don't think that he's him and like
do him 12 and 30. No, you have to give him more than that.
Yeah, I think it's got to be a better player. Like I think it's
Farabee.
I don't know. I mean, I would say like maybe it's. I don't think that they're looking to trade Konechny, even though I think that would probably be a good idea. But
and signs point to them extending Konechny.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it could be Lawton and maybe another player, and yeah, I don't know. It could be some kind of the Senators trying to dump a little salary on us. We'll see, but sounds like something's going down.
So if the Flyers move up to 7, who are they taking? Who would you like to see them take? Have you been paying attention?
I haven't really paid too much attention to the draft stuff. There's a few names that have been floating around for them at 12, like. What's his name? Like Carter Yakimchuk.
Yo, I love that name.
That's a great name.
He's a good defenseman,
that's
too.
like a grade A hockey name.
That's a hockey guy,
That's a hockey-ass name.
That's a hockey man right there.
He's good. It's just a name, yeah.
He's a skilled, like, defenseman, too. So, like, in the event Drysdale doesn't pan out, you draft him, and he's your 1D.
It's a good Eastern European name. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carter Yakimchuk.
Yeah.
And then there's that guy, Catton. Like, I forget what his first name is.
It's someone with a B. Berkeley
Catton. Yeah. So he's,
That sounds like a bitch ass
not
name.
sure if he'll be there at 12. I don't know. I feel like he keeps bouncing around. I don't know. It's hard to say exactly how it's going to go down. I feel like the first handful of picks are pretty much set in stone, but then after that it gets, a little more variance.
So here's the deal. A couple things, actually. So if they move up to 7, they could get what's the guy?
Demidov? I don't know if he's going to slip that far.
I was reading a mock
I think
today
he's
that
gonna
had
go
him
top.
at like 6.
Really? I feel like he has to go like top 5, but
they'd have 2
Mitchkov
Russian
fell
wingers.
to us, though. I mean,
Is
Yeah.
there any
People
dirt
do
on
fall.
him? Is there any dirt on Demidov like there was with Mishkov?
Nah, I don't think there's
He would
just the
just come
fact that he's
over.
Russian.
nice.
It's
That's
not
enough
the
dirt.
same where he's like stuck under contract like Mishkov.
Well, I think he is as well. Yeah.
So it might be some time before he can come
it'll
over.
be the
and
same
he
type of
might-
situation.
What if he dropped too? We'd have a Mishkov and a Demidov.
Damn, Demidov, Mitchkov.
We'd be Russian as hell,
Yeah.
dude.
Hey, I'd be about it.
We'd be all going
Rocking
to get
the
the
sickle,
little, we all
rocking the
little,
sickle and the hammer.
the little fucking
Yeah. Those,
hairy hats on our
Ushanka,
head.
I think is
Yeah.
what those hats are called. Yeah.
You know what I'm hoping for? T. Jaginla.
Oh, yeah.
Get us a man of color up on this team.
Calgary's at 10, though. There's no way they're
Yeah.
passing on him.
Absolutely. But if we move up to 7,
Yeah, maybe. But I don't know.
'Cause
7 might be a reach for him, though.
I
He
don't know,
does
man.
look good. I saw some highlights of his. He looks pretty sick.
He's got that pedigree. It'd be a
Yeah.
Trotter-esque pick.
Mm-hmm.
It would be well worth it. I mean, his dad was borderline Hall of Fame player, terrific center, which is kind of a slot that we need to fill right now.
Yeah, it definitely needs to.
Right, like we need a center.
Now you're calling out the Trotter-esque pick. Interesting.
Well, hey, man, T. Jaginla has more of a pedigree than Jeremiah Trotter Jr. No disrespect to Trot Sr. And plus, man, we need a man of color up on this team.
It's true.
The
For a
Flyers
second,
don't
I
have
thought
a-
we were gonna. I thought, I was looking forward to Zayd Wisdom, but he kind of fell off.
Oh, he was my man.
Yeah, he was looking like a really good prospect for a minute there, and then his injuries kind of set him back, and now he's just kind of whatever.
Yeah,
But,
so I don't think
yeah.
T. Jaginla falls. Certainly not to 12. But if we move up to 7, granted, there's probably better players to take, but I would take him just because I want a man of color on the team.
Yeah,
Oh, I would also take Yakimchuk, too, because that's a great name.
that is a great name, and he was a good defenseman. I guess apparently the word is that this draft is heavier on the defenseman, and then apparently next year's might be better for centers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they're just gonna, take the best available. They're kind of in that position where I don't think they'll. I don't think they're gonna reach for anyone just because they want a center. If there's a good defenseman available, I think they'll take him.
Yeah, still
So-
got a bunch of holes to fill yet. You don't know what you're going to get from Drysdale.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I get it. But yeah, I got my guys that I want them to pick. Guess we'll see. We'll have a little more time to talk about the NHL
Yeah, I
draft.
guess next week will be that'll be the last pod before the draft, so we can get maybe do a little deeper dive.
Yeah, we'll do a
I'll,
projections, predictions.
Yeah, I'll watch the all of the 2-minute YouTube highlight reels of the prospects and act like I know everything about them.
Yeah,
I
I'll
love
do
this
that.
kid. I love this kid coming out of fucking
Yeah.
Slovakia. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
What about this guy, Rodrigo Abels?
Oh, that they signed that.
I think he could be good.
I don't know anything about
Apparently, people are like, yeah, he's going to be a fourth liner or a minor, like an AHL guy.
AHL guy.
He apparently is really good in front of the net on power plays.
He's a big dude.
That's what I'm saying. I think that, like, I
Like
know what
power
he projects as, but this team, like, dude, even if he's a mediocre power
I'm all for
forward,
taking some flyers on guys and seeing if, you
even if
never
he's
know.
like mediocre, like, give him a try. You don't have anything to
What's
lose.
the hurt? Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, this guy could end up scoring 10 power play goals next season. I say just go for it. I think that's what they're thinking, but what's this article I read from Alexander Appleyard, who helps Charlie O'Connor on PHLY?
Yeah, he's
like
guy.
really tuned in.
Yeah.
He said, expect Abels to push hard for a place in the NHL at the camp. It'd be a disappointment if he did not make the roster. His ceiling in the NHL is probably a good fourth liner, most likely at wing, capable of playing up on the third line in some situations, while also chipping in on the penalty kill. Worst case scenario, Abels is a great help for the Phantoms next season in their top six. But I think he's a big dude, big power forward. Put him in front of the net. Put him in the crease on power plays. Just let him just get deflections all day.
Yeah.
They don't have it. When's the last time they had someone like that? Wayne Simmons?
Probably, yeah. I mean,
that was like 5 years ago.
The net front presence had been lacking. I mean, I had JVR was pretty good with that the few years he was back here.
That's true.
He was really good at deflections and that kind of shit. But, they haven't really had that, power forward guy, net front guy doing the dirty work, as they say.
That's what they need.
Yeah.
It's a team of largely finesse guys. Get a big burly guy to just stand there in front of the net. That's what I'm saying. I don't care if he projects to be a fourth liner. He could be on your first or second power play unit if he can just stand in front of the net and get deflections. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy drinking beer sitting in a hot Philly basement on a Wednesday evening in June.
Yeah. Have you guys watched the Cup Finals at all?
Yeah. I've watched.
Yes and no. Yeah.
I've watched the last couple games now that I know it's like more competitive.
Yeah. It's getting interesting. McDavid's just fucking insane.
He's the best player in the
Phenomenal
world.
player.
Dude.
Yeah. Ageless.
Yeah, and then they'll be back in...
They're back in
Edmonton, so very well could push it to 7.
What if this goes 7?
That'd be wild.
I did say Florida in 6, even though I'd love to see McDavid win because he's the best player in the world. But
yeah. And we'd get that one... We'd get the draft pick 31
we get a
to
slightly
32.
earlier pick. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be all the difference. But yeah, I mean, it would be pretty cool just, from like a legacy standpoint if McDavid is the guy that comes back from down 3 to win the Stanley Cup. That'd be cool. But I like both of these teams. I'm fine. I mean, I kind of just want to see it keep going. I just want a Game 7.
You just like a good competitive series in any championship thing when it goes to 7 games. It's just nice to see it.
Did not get that with the NBA.
Oh my God, no. But at least NHL keeps it fun, whether you care about hockey or not. Like, it's just nice to see people have a great competitiveness to them and fight.
Yeah, a lot of these NBA games, they weren't even close. None of the games were close.
None of them were close. No.
Yeah, every one was a blowout.
Whoever won smoked the
yeah. But yeah, NHL, there's more parity. I will also say, now that the Oilers have woken up a little bit, the teams are probably a little more evenly matched. Like Dallas versus Boston in the NBA, Luka's all banged up.
I want to give an excuse to say anything like that. Wait.
But Luka's all banged up, dude. Kyrie, I don't know what Kyrie was. Kyrie was smoking the wrong dope. He was really bad this whole series. I don't know what that was all about.
Terrible.
But then, you look at their lineup, after Luka and Kyrie, their lineup's a bunch of, unproven guys, career role players, and young guys, whereas Boston, their starting lineup is a team of all-stars, right? There's a difference there.
Yeah. I guess we can talk a little bit about little NBA.
Yeah, that fucking sucked.
Boston won. That sucks.
First game of that series, I was like, oh, it's fucking over. There's no, they were just, Porzingis came out and just demolished. I'm like, this is unreal. Okay, he came out of nowhere and
his first game back.
32 days, came back and put up fucking 20 points in 1.5 quarters. Okay, well, clearly they're not ready for this guy. But like you said, Luka wasn't playing well. Kyrie played like shit. The rest of Dallas just didn't show up. It was just brutal. It was. I couldn't watch it. It was just tough to watch.
I would watch bits and pieces of the games.
You couldn't. I didn't want to be
once
engaged.
it got a blowout in one way or the other,
Mm-mm.
I just lost interest.
Couldn't do it. I mean, Boston's been destined to win one in the next couple of years anyway. Like they've been close. They've been, they've historically the last few years
they've been in
like
Eastern Conference like
they've been
semifinals,
either
like
number 1 or 2 seed the last 3 years. Like they've always either had an injury or like couldn't quite get over the hump, whatever. But okay, fine, they finally get the thing. I get that, but they had a pretty easy trip to the championship, and they played a pretty unproven team in Dallas. I mean, Luka, I think maybe in a year or two could probably go back and win one, but that was a Luka that we haven't seen. I mean, he just looked like it was his first game. It just looked odd. He was doing too much. He was flopping, yelling at the fucking refs.
Yeah, he was screaming at the refs, but that's what Luka always does.
Yeah, but it was even more. I feel like it was just everything he did was just even
the
more
one game where he
exaggerated.
fouled out and he clearly fouled Jaylen Brown. He's like, yeah, you better challenge that.
Right.
It's like, dude, you were clearly moving when he ran into you. Like, what are you mad for?
Bad.
Nah, he's a
Just
little
a
baby.
brutal. And Boston, like, having gone and failed a few times yet, I feel like they knew, like, what to do, and then they executed, and they played the game right, and I don't know. They got the little chip, and good for them, but still corny as shit, but...
Yo, I hate seeing Al Horford win a ring. This guy,
Yeah, that's
man,
probably the worst part.
he was here. We paid him 4 years, $109 million, and he was awful. He was garbage here.
You heard
Couldn't wait to
Missoula,
get out.
Missoula made Tatum watch...
He made him watch The Town.
Not the town. He made him before the last game. He made him watch the scene where Batman shows up to the Joker, and Batman. What's the one with
The one with
The
Heath
Dark
Ledger
Knight?
and
the
shit.
Dark Knight.
What? What is this?
He made him watch like that one scene. He was like, when people need leadership, sometimes you have to come out of the darkness and like do your thing. And he showed the part where like they're like in the fucking cop station, and like Batman comes out when the Joker's in there.
The interrogation.
He made him watch that shit, and he did go out for 31 points. So like, the dude just loves movies.
What a corny team. Speaking
Yeah.
of Tatum,
Oh my god.
yeah, you take this one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll preface this by saying, the Boston Celtics were the best team in the league this year. They deserve to win. They've been way better than the Sixers the past however many years. They're a better run organization than the Sixers. However, Jason Tatum is probably the corniest man that's plays professional sports. I mean, good lord, this fucking guy. The when he gets interviewed, he's like, what did he say?
We did
We did
it!
it! We did it! Oh my god, that was just painful to watch. Like, it was like I never felt that much like secondhand embarrassment for a man who makes like millions and millions of dollars.
Who just won a championship.
Who just
Yeah.
who just had gotten the biggest accomplishment in his field of work.
He said, "Oh my god, oh my, we did it." It's
Yo,
Yeah.
what about when he was fake crying?
Yeah, that was great.
He's just like he looks up, puts his hands in his face, looks down, then peeks up for a second to see a camera's on, and then goes back to peeking down.
He pulled the old peekaboo out there and said, "This is shit." The guy that camera probably.
And
like,
then when he
"The
gets up
fuck?"
again, like he picks up his son, like, yeah, that's cute, whatever. He gets up again. You don't see his eyes are red at all. There's no
No.
tears. It's like you were faking the whole time.
He's a fucking robot. It was
Get
very
out
odd.
of here.
And then
Miss me with
what
that.
are the other moments he recreated? He did.
What are they gonna say now?
Yeah, about when Steph said that after they won in 2021.
Right.
Steph was like, yeah, what they gonna say now?
Yeah.
So then Tatum's going, what they gonna say about us now? What
and
else?
Him and his mom ran out, which was whatever, but she was like, "What are they gonna say about us now?" They're all like, "Yeah." It's like, what? Come on. It just all felt corny and staged in a weird way. He dropped the mic. He did the Kanye thing.
Yeah, he was. What was the other thing? Oh, what was the Kanye thing? They said, what was the Kanye quote?
He was like,
They were wondering what was going to happen when I lost. Well, we didn't lose, or some.
I
forget what
I
he
guess
said.
we'll never
I guess
know.
we'll
Yeah, I
never
guess
know.
we'll never know. That's
yeah.
it.
He dropped the mic. It's like, dude, this shit is so They're like, he's reaching to become like a legendary meme or like a
He's
quotable
just
guy.
ripping everyone else.
He wants to be Jalen Hurts
He's
so
sitting
bad.
there
that he can't-
holding the trophy, acting like Kobe.
Yeah.
Like that Kobe, yeah. Oh my god. Well, ever since that, when Kobe died and he sent the text messages, like, "I got you,"
Yeah.
death penalty.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
oh
Straight
my
to
God.
no jail.
Straight
He should
to
be on
jail.
that jail show.
Straight to
jail.
jail.
Yeah, he should be on the jail show.
He should go to jail for that
Put
shit.
his ass behind bars.
He should be on that jail
But yeah, I mean, it's totally just a guy who is like insecure about the fact that, I mean, I'm sorry, he's never going to be a top 5 player in this league.
No.
Even though people try, every year there's going to be Boston fans trying to make the case for him to be MVP. It's not happening. It's never going to happen. He's not that guy. And he knows he's not that guy. And so he has to do all this shit where he like lives vicariously through, previous players that are better than him.
He was like, it looked like he was like, how to celebrate a championship win. They were like, okay,
it's like,
let me try this
fine.
one.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, he's an all-star, this and that. Like, it's fine to just be a guy, like a very, very good player.
Phenomenal player.
That's on a really good team and,
Yeah.
and just enjoy it for what it is.
You'd be lucky
Be
to
like
have him.
Jaylen Brown. Be humble.
Yeah.
You'd be lucky to have a guy like Tatum.
It's
However, Tatum doesn't have that it factor to like, he didn't have that same kind of mojo or any kind of charisma at all whatsoever. You win a championship after all you've been through, which we've all seen. It's, as a Sixers fan, you've seen Boston be very good and annoyingly good for a lot of the years. That's the best you came up with? All of this time, all this pent-up energy,
Dude, yeah.
and all you can do is re-quote other people?
Yeah, you've been in the league for almost 10 years, dog.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
He didn't even talking his
everything,
shit.
everything he said after the game, like when he did the "we did it" thing, like I swear to God, it felt like he had been practicing that in the mirror.
Yeah,
like
he
all
probably
week.
was.
Just like
It
He's
felt like he
so
just won a
corny.
high school championship game. It was like, well, is this the NBA finals or this like a high school game, or it was just corny, very corny.
I used to like really dislike Jason Tatum, not so much as a person. I don't know him as a person, but just his game. It just would annoy me. I can't even dislike that anymore. I just think he's just a sad person with no identity.
Yeah. I think that's a very honest quote. I think
You know
that's
what I
good.
mean?
I think
Like-
that's a good thing to say. So yeah, they fucking won. It's ass, but at least they had a corny ass celebration, and they went to Miami.
Yeah,
they're not
I was
even
just gonna say,
celebrating
yeah,
with their fans.
Yeah.
What is that all about?
Immediately just book it to Miami, to a more fun city than Boston.
Well, they were like, I want to go hang out with all these fucking.
Like, I want to hang out with all these racists.
Fucking-
To be fair, we talked about this last week. Boston sucks.
like, what the fuck? They're
Yeah.
like, well, let me go pause a little bit. Go down to Miami. Yeah, But
Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser were probably like, guys, we don't mind Boston.
yeah, bad. But whatever. I don't know. I won't give them any credit or anything like that. Just they won. Okay.
Yo,
It
so
sucks.
I gotta ask y'all, seeing all these Celtics fans celebrating, I started thinking, of the 4 major Philadelphia teams and our rivals, which ones do you hate the most? Power rank them from 4 being the one you like hate the least to 1 being the one you hate the most.
So of like NBA, NHL,
MLB, and
MLB, NFL.
Yeah.
I think I probably hate Dallas fans more.
Really? Okay.
Only because they're more obnoxious without having any credit to their name in recent memory. So it's
That's a good
annoying.
point.
It's frustrating
Yeah.
to like they'll talk shit just to talk shit about shit that happened
that's
years
a good point.
ago.
I didn't consider that.
I would put Boston for this like the Celtics Sixers second. Just because I feel like we've had so much pent up energy with the Sixers and Embiid era, but we can't quite either A, get out of the first round, second round, and Boston, one way or another, even if we do have a good team, is usually the one that knocks us out, or, they just, like this year, they win, they got to watch them do their thing. I think I would have the Penguins third. Not that the Flyers have really done anything recently, but I don't think the Phillies really have anybody that has really had reason for concern in terms of like rivalry. Like the Phillies have been pretty dominant in the last 10 or so years. They had a couple of down seasons here and there where the Mets could have been
That's
that.
like 3
years.
years.
The Braves could have been bad, or the Braves could have beat us here and there. But I feel like the Phillies, I don't know. I just feel like hockey's more competitive that way in terms of rivalry. I think NBA 2 and then NFL 3 or number 1.
Word.
So that's why I have it. Dallas, Boston, Pittsburgh.
Mine's a little
Coin
different.
toss in baseball, really.
Trevor, what you got?
I guess I probably agree that Dallas are the worst.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my top two are probably the same, Dallas and I don't know. Between Cowboys fans and Celtics fans, I feel like it's kind of like a coin flip. Both pretty awful. Yeah. I mean, Dallas might be worse because like they think they're going to win the Super Bowl every year. At least like the Celtics have like a reason to think that they're going to win the championship every year. And then I'd probably go Braves fans.
Okay, interesting.
And then except for Jonah.
Yeah, shout out Jonah. We appreciate
one of the good
you.
ones. And then then I guess I would go with the Penguins.
Okay. Yeah, mine's a little different. So y'all ready for this? I got the Mets first.
Okay, yeah.
Mets fans
I was
are
thinking
so
about,
annoying, man.
Yeah.
No matter what the Mets record is, they always come down here, invade our stadium,
Shout
act
out
like
Tito,
their
you
team's
piece
good.
of shit. Yeah, Mets fan.
Like, they always act like their team's hot. Like, even they're garbage.
It's true.
Like, when's the last time the Mets won a World Series? 86?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Even
None of us was
yeah.
born.
Mm-hmm.
Like, most of y'all's fans probably weren't born. You're living in the shadow of the New York Yankees, who also have slashed the Yankees, even though they aren't technically a rival. Whenever we play them in the World Series, when we played them in the World Series, I have a feeling we're going to play them again this year. But when we played them in 2009, their fans were so damn obnoxious.
Oh, yeah.
Chanting, "Who's your daddy?" Pedro Martinez.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that was funny.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
And Pedro's reactions are like one of my favorite moments in sports history.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have the Mets / Yankees, just New York baseball in general.
That makes sense.
Ass. Then I have the Celtics for all the reasons you guys mentioned. I don't need to say anything else about that. Their fans are despicable. They're entitled.
Yeah.
They're like, it's been...
I mean, you grew up in Boston.
It's been 16 years since our team won. You know how long it's been since the Sixers won? 41 years.
Right. None of us were around.
I wasn't born. I wasn't even a thought in my dad's head, or my mom's head.
You weren't even a little sperm in his balls
I wasn't even anything floating around in his anatomy yet.
You weren't even getting jerked off into a napkin. You were just
right?
irrelevant. Yeah.
So yeah, y'all are so entitled. Get a grip. It's not that bad to lose every once in a while. It builds character. Then I have the Cowboys. Here's the deal, right? Around here, the Eagles-Cowboys rivalry is very intense because we have a lot of people that grew up around here, but for whatever reason are Cowboys fans, and it makes no sense. My older sister grew up around here. No one in my family's a Cowboys fan. Somehow she loves the Cowboys.
Yeah, guess we had to kill her
We have
now.
a lot of people like that, at least locally, make the rivalry very intense. My understanding, I've never been to Dallas, but my dad went down there. He said down there, they don't care about the rivalry. They to them, Washington is who they hate more than us.
It's more about the fans in and of itself. Like, I feel like that's what it's like. Dallas fans are a whole facade. There's a very niche core of Dallas fans that are actually like, they loved the old school Dallas Cowboys. They know the history and all that. 9 times out of 10, I'll be at the link and I'll quiz someone who's a Dallas fan of like, name me a quarterback.
I remember the game we were at this
Tony
year.
Romo,
Yeah,
they're like,
last year.
They can't do it. It's like, well, you're not and they're from fucking like Marlton, New Jersey. I'm like, well, you're a fucking pussy then. Like, fuck that. You're not a real fan then. Like, if you're a real fan,
I know what you mean.
Maybe some players that played for the team when they were winning. Don't just jump on. I don't know. It just also, I come from a family where we don't. You kind of choose your team, but you get kind of led to the water trough, so to speak. Where like you're from Philadelphia. You kind of just assume the Philadelphia teams. And I like that. I think I appreciate that. I respect that because you're kind of like, you have your team. You're there for the ups and the downs. You don't get to like choose when when you're growing up, well, the Yankees are winning World Series left and right. I'm going to be a Yankees fan for baseball. I'm going to be a Lakers fan for basketball. I'm going to be a, Penguins fan for hockey. No, you're from a city, or at least that area. I think you should imbibe in the sports that are around you to really be all consumed and enjoy the ride. I think it's way more enjoyable to buckle up for a tortured life of sports.
Oh, I feel you. Absolutely.
It sucks that Philadelphia has had a shitty ass run.
That's why this podcast exists.
But it makes the win so much better. It makes that little that playoff run.
That's what I'm saying. It builds character.
Little lightning in a jar. You're like, oh my God, this is our moment to do. But I think Dallas is just so infuriating because it's people that don't really care about the game, but they talk so much shit, and it like drives me up a wall.
So here's the deal, right? Why I put the Yankees on here is because most Cowboys fans are also Yankees fans.
Definitely, yeah.
Right? So that's why I hate the New York Mets and New York Yankees fans the most, because there's a direct, what's the word I'm looking for?
Correlation?
That works. That's not the word I was looking for. There's a direct correlation between Cowboys fans and Yankees fans.
I think,
right?
Yeah.
They're very similar in so many ways. A lot of times they're the same person. Probably someone living around here that has never been to Dallas. They may have gone to a Yankees game when they were 5, when Derek Jeter was still playing. Like, oh yeah, I love the Cowboys. I love the Yankees. They're probably damn sure a Lakers fan. And if they root for a hockey team, it's probably like the Detroit Red Wings or someone else that was good in the 90s.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, get the hell out of here. Like, that there's a direct cross-section. That's the word I was looking for. Of fans that are interested in all 3 of those teams. 4 of those teams.
I just don't trust people that have multiple different cities as their teams. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It annoys
I
me to no
understand.
end.
I get it if you like moved around a little bit, but as a obviously a Philadelphia lifer here, maybe not lifer in general, Hannah, we can move wherever you want, but I feel like sports wise,
You ain't going nowhere.
I feel like sports wise, like you can't. It doesn't. My brain can't even compute like how to, have multiple different cities as your team. It makes no sense to me. Like, oh, I love the Lakers, but I'm a diehard Phillies fan and Eagles and Flyers fan. Like,
I know a
what?
guy, man. This guy's the worst.
It makes no sense.
He's a Celtics fan, a Minnesota Vikings fan, a Baltimore Orioles fan, and a Flyers fan.
Good God.
It's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, who hit you upside the
How's
head?
that happen?
I have no idea. I've never asked him this, actually. I should ask him that.
Unless he fuck that. Unless he
I don't
moves
get
around
it.
a lot.
No. He's lived in Philly his whole life. Aside, I don't know where he went to jail when he went to jail, but he's lived here most of his life, dude. Like,
Damn.
I don't get it. I don't know.
Well, fuck them all.
But yeah, then I had the Penguins 4th on my list. The rival. If you asked me 10 years ago, I probably would have had the Penguins 2nd. But the rivalry is just not what it used to be.
Yeah. Honestly, like the Rangers are their fans are kind of worse now because they'll come down and invade the Wells Fargo and
And now the Nets too, what's it called? The Knicks a little bit have kind of stirred the pot in terms of rivalry with the Sixers.
I still put the Celtics higher, but yeah, the Knicks are getting there.
I think at a certain point, if by next year we can't like beat the fucking Boston humpback, Boston might be out of our wheelhouse in terms of a rivalry. Like at this point, they've won a championship. They've gone to the Eastern Conference Finals 2 in the last 3 years. Like,
it's not much of a rivalry.
I understand they might be moving some things around, but like it's not really much a rivalry for them. Like they don't really give a shit about. Like they got us in the bag. Like we can't. They kind of got us right now. But the Knicks, they've stirred the pot.
Yeah, they're more on our level
They're
right
more
now.
like that's kind of our playground right now. Where Boston now has graduated to like high school. We're still like 7th grade trying to like figure some shit out. Embiid hasn't kissed a girl yet. He's like trying to figure his fucking life out. Where Boston's like out here fucking around, smoking joints in the parking lot, being cool and all that shit. We're like, we still haven't really figured out fucking, geometry yet. We're like, or whatever, 8th grade.
We haven't
grade.
listened to the Citywide Pod to learn all about the birds and the bees.
No, they're honestly like, the Sixers are kind of getting embarrassed right now compared to the rest of the division in terms of Boston. The Knicks look like they're on an upward trajectory.
You could also throw the Nuggets in there. The whole Embiid-Jokic rivalry isn't really a rivalry anymore. Like, yeah, Embiid owns Jokic one-on-one, but Jokic's career accolades far dwarf his at this point.
Definitely. It's just, it's kind of, I don't want to get all depressed, but it's just like a sad thing to see. Like the Sixers are potential is
hold
there.
up. Let's get depressed a little bit. We got a little more Sixers to talk about.
I'm a freak. No, I'm kidding.
Embiid tampering.
With the eye, you saw they said
that was funny. Man.
That was funny.
That was pretty funny.
He said, I want to talk to some people.
He's like, yeah, we got to get better, get some more pieces. So yeah, about that, man. Like, I don't know. What do you think is going to happen?
I think that Daryl Morey, more likely than not, will probably overspend for somebody, whether that's Butler or...
But what if Paul George just resigns in L.A.?
That's
I
honestly.
think that's probably going to happen.
I think that would be better off for us.
Seems like, but then, yeah,
I'm okay
that
with
seems
that.
like the most likely. But also, why has LA been dicking around if that's the case?
Because they don't want to give him a max.
Yeah, but they know that other people will. So, like, why don't they just?
I'm okay if we
I don't
lose
know.
out on Paul George. I don't need Paul George here on this team.
Well, just because a team gives him a max doesn't mean he's going to take it.
He gonna leave LA for Philadelphia?
That's what I'm saying. He's from LA.
No.
Like, he probably wants to retire there.
Yeah.
Just because we offer him a max does not mean I don't think he's going to.
He won't come to Philadelphia.
Because you know it's the deal. Keith Pompey had this piece, which I usually don't give Keith Pompey any credit. But he was like, yeah, James Harden called Daryl Morey a liar, and whose team was Paul George on?
Yeah.
So Harden's probably in his ear. And Danny Green said something to this. He was on the right to Ricky Sanchez. He said something to this effect. Where he's like, yeah, players talk to players. And like, if a player's like, yeah, I played there, you don't want to play there. Like, no matter what anyone else says, we're going to take the word over, like, our brothers more.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling more and more pessimistic about this every day.
I'm okay with that having Paul George.
I feel like it's definitely less likely than likely, but not impossible.
So,
it doesn't bother me at all.
So what do you want then?
I want to bring back, and I said this before, but I want to bring back, and this is all just vet guys, not anybody big piece yet, so to speak. But you give Maxey a big contract, you give Embiid a little bit more money as a contract, probably Kyle Lowry. I want Batum
So you
back.
want them to bring back like that
I want
report
Buddy
said
Hield.
where they
I
bring...
want the core. I think that if they were healthy, they probably would have been a better team off and played together well. I think you don't need to go break the bank and go for a Paul George or a Klay Thompson or a fucking maybe Jimmy Butler if you get it back for a
largely
discount.
agree with that.
I think that if you bring back more secondary pieces, which we haven't really had in the Embiid era, and bring back a guy that could maybe help you out in the long run, like a Butler on a cheaper deal, so to speak, coming off that MCL tear, I think it's probably a cheaper deal than bringing in a Paul George.
Well, you have to trade for Butler.
That's fine. We got, 6 or 7 first-round picks?
5.
Okay,
I
so you
think.
got to get rid of Ricky Council probably, and a couple other guys, maybe B-Ball Paul and some guys like that. I'm okay with that.
You're gonna have to give. I
don't know the whole. I'm not a GM in the NBA, but my point though is that I feel like there's a good core in this team that if you brought back, they would be better off than breaking the bank for one guy when you know you won't get Embiid for a full season / a full playoff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. Like, they need to build up like their depth, right? Like, you look at
Give me Lowry for another year.
Look at why the Knicks beat us. It was because they're depth.
Right.
Like,
Give me Lowry for a
Brunson
year.
went off, but like it was also guys like Josh Hart.
DiVincenzo.
Yeah. What do you call it?
Fucking
McBride.
Anunoby's
Deuce McBride, who y'all didn't even know about before that series, who I told you about.
OG Anunoby looking pretty good too.
He might. Apparently, there's reports that he like isn't super excited to sign back there.
He was not the most emphatic guy on that team. He looked kind of quiet. He wasn't like a.
And then they made him play in Game 7. We could barely walk.
Yeah.
Nah, so that's interesting because
give me Batum.
I would bring Anunoby in on a non-max and then just build depth.
Right. Batum. You're talking, obviously, the beautiful
Oubre,
man, Kelly
yeah.
Oubre. Let me get that beautiful eyes up in here. Hello.
Apparently, the Knicks like Kyle Lowry.
Might as well re-sign Tobias, bring him back
No.
here on cheap. No. I'm kidding.
I was all in until you said, well, I know you're kidding.
I'm tripping.
Now, Tobias, you could let him walk anywhere, man. Let Tobias walk into the Atlantic Ocean.
So there's guys out there. Potentially, Mikal Bridges would be a
They need to
interesting
trade the
pickup.
house for him.
That's but that would be. I would rather
That'd be great.
break the bank for a guy like that with trade value than bring in an old Paul George or a banged up Jimmy Butler. The Jimmy Butler trade.
Oh, I hear you. I'm with you. Like, I don't think Paul George is coming here, and then I think we're going to have to get creative. Hopefully that means a Mikal Bridges or...
I'm trusting Daryl Morey right now with the whole next 10 years of this franchise. If they fuck up this offseason...
I mean, this offseason's it. If it's not
if
this
they fuck it up,
offseason,
we're
then-
done.
If this offseason's a dud, we're done.
We're trading Embiid next season.
Embiid's going to ask out.
Yeah.
Maxey's going to be stuck here. They'll have to build around him.
He'll be like an AI.
Daryl Morey's going to get fired. Nick Nurse will probably he'll probably resign or he'll get fired.
Or jump off the fucking
or
wall.
maybe Josh Harris will be like, "This is a sunk cost. I'm selling the team." That'd be cool.
Yeah, that we could buy in.
Yeah, we can get like a 0.01% stake. Even that'd be good money though.
Hell yeah.
We'd be making big Dom
Boom.
money.
We got Citywide Pod in Wells Fargo.
Yo, real quick.
In Chinatown.
Speaking of money and opting in, what do you think Big Dom makes?
As a salary,
Trevor and Nick were trying to tell me he makes $200,000.
I'm gonna say he probably makes. Well, now that he has 4 titles,
right?
And now he's got field clearance, can't get kicked out. So coaches on the sideline make at least 1.2, 1.5. Stoutland makes 1.5, 1.8.
For real?
Yeah.
How much does a linebacker coach make?
If you're a head coach,
a linebacker coach probably makes like $800,000.
Yeah, but there's linebacker coach, then there's position outside linebacker coach. Like you're the head linebacker coach, then it's like me and not Fitz obviously, but
yeah,
2 of the guys under you being like the other segmented guys. I think they each make at least $1 million, $1.2 million. So I'd say
Big Dom is definitely making.
Dom probably makes. I would say 1.7.
He's making damn near $2 million. I told you.
I'm gonna say 1.75.
I don't think he makes $1 million.
Dude, he makes more than some of these low level coaches.
He does security. He does security. He does sandwiches. He does security. He does standing around securing the players.
I told y'all he's our dark web guy. Anytime we need to get dirt on someone or figure out dirt on someone,
player personnel.
Somehow we have to figure this out.
Well, you can't find him because he's off the grid.
Yeah, you can't Google it. I've tried a couple times.
There's no other position in the NFL like Big Dom. He's just
That's what I'm saying. He's irreplaceable, so he's making bank.
So one of us has to get
and he's been with the organization for 22 years, man. He's making terrific
Trev, you just
money.
got to put on
Well, I mean, the one search that we did do says he has I guess it's a speculation, but they estimate that his net worth is somewhere between $1 and $5 million.
You have to put
which
on
would mean that his yearly salary is way less than that.
No, his
you
life
can't
salary.
trust that either.
Trev, you got to put on 150 more pounds so that when he dies, you can take over, and then we'll know what he makes.
Yeah, I gotta start
and
working
shave
my
your
way
head,
up.
lose all your hair,
put
on some weight, and be a security guard for the Eagles, and then work your way in there. Because I will never do it. I can't do it. I'm not tall enough.
I'm black. Yeah, I'm not Big Dom, dude.
So it's all you, Trev.
Yeah, I'm not Italian.
Man, they don't know that. You
What's
could
your
be a
last name?
redhead Italian.
I could just change my name.
What's your last name?
Cunyon.
Cunyon. Oh, Cunyon. Onion.
Nah. Cuneo.
Ah, Cunyo.
Yeah,
there you go. Just remove the N at the end. There
Trevor
you go.
Cunyo.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
That makes
so
sense.
just gotta figure out the weight and the hair. That's all. Other than that, you're good to go. Change your name, hair, and weight, and you got it in the bag.
Yeah, just gotta start eating. The Big Dom sandwich every day.
Yo, which we do need to talk about that real quick. Did you the Big Dom
I haven't
cutlet?
had it. I still haven't had it yet.
I got the Big Dom cutlet from Cosme's. 10 out of 10. It's essentially a chicken parm with pesto on the bottom and long hots on top.
Yeah.
Delectable.
That
So
tastes
Big Dom's getting residuals. So no, all the proceeds from that are going to
Eagles charity or something.
Autism thing, yeah.
But
classic Big Dom move. Laundering.
Yeah, he's a man of the people, dude.
Laundering that shit. He's like, let's go to the foundation. Mm-hmm.
I think
he probably goes to my account. I bet you what, Bruno.
Oh, you got an account named Bruno?
Mm-hmm.
Probably every famous Italian in South Philly is going to Bruno.
Bruno Fiorenza.
Yeah,
dude does it up well.
Big Dom's definitely going to Bruno.
Right at Broad and Shunk too. It's right there.
Oh yeah, Big Dom probably gets done an Eagles game.
By there all the time.
He's like, all right, I got to hit my accountant up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm doing with this bankroll I just got.
My dad's been making $35K his whole year, his whole life. I will say nothing, no bats about it. But yeah, Bruno baby.
Yeah,
anyway,
Bruno.
Big Dom probably makes at least $1.75. And that's $1.75 million.
Yeah, I agree. We'll find out eventually.
Yeah, one of these days.
Once he's dead,
gotta get some.
dig it up.
I don't know. Do some investigations.
Maybe on the inside.
Yeah.
I'll get an
forensic
internship.
accountant.
I'll get an internship this year. Figure it out.
Yeah. See if you can get your.
I don't know anyone.
Hands on the payroll information.
I'll just yell on the sideline, "Yo,
Don, how much you make?"
See if he hears me. I'll get thrown out. I guess I got to go get kicked out again.
Yeah, got kicked out for asking too many questions.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
We got anything else to talk about? Fucking Justin Timberlake DUI.
Yo, did you see his mugshot?
Yeah, he looked weird.
Looks whacked out,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
So apparently,
it was a DWI, so that means he was high as shit.
yeah. So here's the deal.
Intoxicated.
Yeah.
not under
Yeah,
the
here's the
influence.
deal. I saw this on Twitter. I don't know who tweeted
Was it about the age of the cop?
No, it's well, yeah, that was funny too.
That was hysterical.
But apparently, he had traces of Molly, poppers, Truvada. What's Truvada?
It sounds like some
Truvada?
prescription.
Truvada. What's that?
He's got.
I don't know what
He's
that
got
is.
ED then.
Oh, and he had coke,
I was playing. Damn.
and he was probably drunk too.
Damn,
You
what a
wanna-
good time.
Well, DUI is your best bet. DWI, that
Yeah,
the
that means
whole
you're really
can of
fucked
worms,
up.
that
Well,
means you're
no,
like-
DWI. He was probably drunk and drugs.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's like driving under the influence is just a.
I think it's just
thing.
a matter of like, it's a certain threshold on the blood alcohol level.
But
Like,
The
once you
cop
reach a
that
certain
pulled him
amount, it's
over was
considered
like,
DWI.
all right, do this. He's like, it's going to kill my tour. And the cop was like, what tour? He's like,
yeah,
you
the
know who
cop
I am?
didn't
He's
even
like,
know who he was.
no, I know who you are. He had no clue who you was.
Wait,
Yeah,
how old was the
The
cop?
cop was like 20 something.
26, 25.
Okay.
He was like, I don't fucking know who you are.
I
Got his
guess the
ass.
cop was like 26.
You would think you would
Cop
learn.
would have been born in 98, which, yeah, Timberlake's career, like, took off in the early... Yeah, that makes sense. The cop probably didn't know.
Unless
The cop would have been like 7 when Timberlake was at his peak.
Unless the cop
Yeah.
watched Trolls. I don't know if, you know, Timberlake's in
Or
that
if the
shit.
cop watched Super Bowl 52 halftime show.
Fuck. Oh, 8. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I missed
so
that.
I was gonna say that's the one.
Yeah,
That's
the
like the
cop
one
was
why
like-
I have some bit of a soft spot for Justin Timberlake.
I
'Cause he was
saw-
the halftime show and he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I left the house at that point. I was doing shots of Fireball in my driveway.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I think we were at Grumpy's. I don't think I really watched it like that.
Yeah, I was at Triangle.
He said, you know who I am? You would think that you would learn your lesson. Tiger Woods walks so we can run, but, you know.
Yeah, or we had, what's that one golfer's name? Scheffler getting arrested
Oh,
the
yeah.
morning of his match?
Well, because
Yeah.
he hit some... No. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he just, I forget what the situation
Somebody
was.
hit somebody, a bus hit somebody on the way into the match and, like, damn near killed a person. And he drove around the traffic to get in to go do his
he
golf
tried
thing.
to go around the accident.
And the
yeah.
cop was like, you can't come in. He was like, I'm one of the golfers to go in. So he was late. And I
like-
think he still won or close to it.
Yeah, like the cops don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they probably should, but
The one guy killed himself, though, after that match. Oof, tough match.
What?
Right there. Yeah, done so.
maybe he should got arrested instead. He might still
Yeah.
be alive.
Talk about a hook.
But damn, yeah, that picture of Timberlake, man, he
Or a
looked
slice.
he looked like me after the hoagie crawl. His eyes
Yeah.
were like all different colors.
He said, drunken while eating hoagies.
When's his tour?
Coming up, it's on the fucking Wells Fargo Center.
Yeah, is it?
He said, it's going to kill my tour. The cop said, what tour?
Yeah, we
He's
gotta
like,
go.
"Fuck."
We gotta go hold signs.
I did see that Britney Spears' one song, damn, I forget what it's called. But it went, in Brazil, it spiked after he got arrested. Criminal? No, what's she saying?
I think
Toxic.
Top, maybe?
It's a big one of hers.
I don't
One of
know.
those things. Because didn't she date Jay?
Yeah, way back in the day. We're talking like
Yeah.
25 years ago.
Before she
yeah.
lost it? Before she had the old,
Shaved head thing.
Yeah.
well, and the whole
the whole
conservatory.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't say
Yeah.
that word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn. Well,
Not conservatory. That's like where you go look at the planets.
Conservatorship.
conservatorship.
Cons-
Conservatory?
Nah, that's where you
Conservatorship?
go. That's a place you
Conservatory,
go to
that-
look at planets.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you go to the conservatory to stare in the telescope and look at the moon and whatnot.
No, that's No, it's not.
Yes, it is. I'm right?
Conservatory?
That sounds
That-
right.
Is that a made-up word?
Conservatory.
All right. Let's look it up.
Isn't that a conservationist?
A conservatory
Conservationist is like a environmental,
Conservatory.
is a building or room having glass or other transparent roofing and walls. Okay, I was wrong, but you were wrong too.
You were thinking
what is
used as a
the
greenhouse.
what is the space one? It's,
observation deck?
no, it's it's something like that. It's,
Observatory?
Yeah, it's an observatory.
Is that
He's
what it
right.
is?
Yeah.
Nice.
So you were wrong about what a conservatory is, but yeah, it's an
Oh, but you were wrong
observatory.
too.
Yeah, I said I was wrong.
I admit that I was
said I was wrong too. Yeah,
You
and
said- I was wrong,
we're both wrong.
but I was kind of right.
But yeah, Britney Spears was a conservatorship. There we go.
Conservatorship.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
if that's how you pronounce that. But anyway, we've probably been rambling too long about this nonsense. We got anything else? Trump's in Philly this weekend. We're going down the shore this weekend.
Yeah.
Thank God we're out of town for that bullshit.
Yeah, gonna miss.
Fuck that.
Can't believe we're gonna miss
when's he
him.
in town, though?
I think it's
Saturday.
Fuck.
the 22nd.
Alright, well, then
it might
good
be
thing
Sunday
So the good thing we're
at the
getting...
Liacora Center in Temple.
Oh, in
Temple?
Yeah, it's gonna be in North Philly.
Dude, that's going to be wild.
North
there's
Philly
gonna be,
Trump.
There's going to be scenes going off
I
outside the
hope they
Liacora
fucking-
Center.
Yeah. There should be scenes up there.
Yo,
I saw Bernie Sanders up there.
Yeah, I remember when Bernie
Oh
was
yeah,
there.
Yeah, that was
I
cool.
think I was like not here.
That was
I
cool,
couldn't
though.
go,
He
but-
did a good job.
Yo,
And
Trump-
Fetterman was up there before he was whatever he is
before
now.
he got canceled.
Yeah, before he got
With the flag, yeah,
had a stroke and
before he got a stroke and started being all whatever.
Yeah.
And then crashed his car.
and then he just almost like killed his family with his
Yeah.
car.
Yeah,
apparently you hear like he has a whole history of being like a terrible driver and like
Well, he's from Pittsburgh. That makes sense.
yeah. But apparently like when he was like running for Senate or whatever, like some of his staffers like sometimes they would have events to go to and they would just drive with him, and after a while they were like, no, we're just driving ourselves. Like we're not getting into a car with this man.
I'm gonna call my Amish Uber real quick. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck
shit.
that. Well, Trump should have a great time at Broad and Cecil B. Moore then. That should be
Yeah, that's
good.
going to be hilarious, yo.
Yeah.
He thought bad things happened in
feel like,
Philly back
I mean,
then.
I feel like it'll be interesting to see who shows up to that because I feel like all of his,
They ain't
supporters.
going to North
Constituent-
Philly.
That's what I was saying. All the supporters in the area are like terrified to go to like Rittenhouse. They're like, you'll get stabbed.
They wouldn't
if you
even go to fucking
to
Wells
Rittenhouse
Fargo.
Square.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going up, and like that's not even
They're all,
that
like,
bad of a part
terrified.
of North
No,
Philly.
not at all.
It could
Yeah.
get way worse, but like they'll see it's in North Philly. You're like, I ain't going. Hey, Cheryl.
Yeah.
Hey, Cheryl, are you going to the Trump rally? Oh, Bonnie, I heard people get stabbed up there. I'm gonna watch it at home.
Mm-mm. They're not doing
That
that.
ain't happening, dude.
It's like that
Yeah.
thing when he went to Detroit, went to like Baptist church, but they flooded it with just white people from out of state. So there was nobody from the church in the church. He was like,
Yeah.
"This is a great turnout." They were like, "Nobody." Even the pastor was like, "Nobody. I've never seen anybody that is in here right now." And then right after that, he went to this like notoriously like white supremacist guy who pulled out like a white boy summer flag, and he went to that event right after that. I'm like, this is like.
Oh,
It's
was
not-
that David Duke?
Yeah,
Was that yeah.
not
Oh,
David
yeah.
Duke. It was the other guy. He's like a younger guy.
Oh.
David Duke is
Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, it's him. Yeah.
that- the,
David Duke's the KKK guy. Which
yeah.
he probably has that event fucking tomorrow, so we'll see. But
Yeah.
it's just
They
it's
probably had
comical.
it today on Juneteenth.
It's
these
comical in a
assholes.
way that isn't like funny, but it's like you can't make this. It's like the Twilight Zone. You can't make this shit up.
What a time.
Every
to be
plane he
alive.
gets off, he waves, and then they pan out to the crowd, and it's just his car. There's nobody.
Yeah.
There's nobody out. Like it's crazy.
Dude, I'm
November's gonna fucking suck. November's gonna.
It's
be
gonna. It's also gonna when he comes here on Sunday. It's gonna be like 96 degrees or whatever.
His
like
hair's gonna
his
be melting.
Brain's gonna just be fried. He's gonna be
Is
saying all kinds
Giuliani
of
gonna be
crazy
with him?
shit.
I hope no. I think he's.
I don't
He
know.
probably got a court case too right now.
Giuliani's gonna be dripping, dude.
Yeah,
He's gonna
he's-
have all that black,
Yeah,
No,
black
he'll be-
hair
he'll
dye
be-
running down his
He'll
nose.
be out that
and-
fucking yard supply sale on the
Yeah, they're
northeast
gonna-
off the fucking
yeah,
boulevard
yeah,
in Ben Salem.
yeah, Four Seasons.
Yeah. Damn. Well,
Yeah,
buckle
that
up,
was
everybody.
hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I think that'll just about do it for it. Do it for us tonight, everybody.
We're gonna do it in the butt tonight. I mean,
You'll be like
Just
the
like those
water bug.
cockroaches.
Yep.
Yeah. Please leave us a 5-star rating and a review every day at your podcast. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Send us an email at citywidepod@gmail.com. And from all of us here at the Citywide, good morning, good afternoon, good night.
That's what's it.
fuck Boston.